All right. So welcome to class. This is our last of the watercolor class this session. And this is Jonet's drawing.
Right.
Unfortunately, because it was a movie and I did a screen capture. Anyway, the image is not very clear, but when I show it a little smaller,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
we can see it better.
Very nice.
What I did was I took part of what I had done last week and I just put it on a larger, the 9x12 paper, added the silo, and I added some more bushes or trees on the right-hand side. Yep. And then I added the silo and the little driveway and,
I like it.
oh, thank you.
Yes,
I like your grain feeder. Your grain, whatever it is.
This.
It's really good.
yeah, it reads really well.
It does. And it's not
it-
easy to do.
Well balanced. Now, I'm gonna open it in this other program
Okay.
because I want to show you a couple of things. Let's see. I think they're here. Yes. So the road, I'm just wondering, is the road here or is it?
Okay, it's a little, the page is a little bit longer.
Okay, here.
It does show on my drawing,
Yes.
I guess I didn't take a great photo,
Mm.
which I didn't. It came,
Good.
it shows on like right here.
Yeah, like right here,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
And this is the road.
yes,
Okay, so the placement of the road is pretty good if you have it angled a little bit more. Like you can leave this one, this line, I would leave it here. And
okay,
the other line, you could put it, so this line here.
Yep.
Maybe you can open it up a little bit more like, whoops,
oh,
sorry.
okay,
like this.
all right, will do.
So it would give this whole space here. Let me see. So it would go like this. Oops.
All right,
See, it would open up. See how it opens up?
yes, I see that.
So it would really give the impression this is coming towards us.
Okay.
The other thing I would suggest is you can put the picket fences.
Oh, those little posts. Yes, okay.
Yeah. So by putting the little posts, so we'll just
Mhm.
slightly indicate them like so.
Okay,
And as you go further and further away from the viewer, then they become closer and closer together
they're smaller.
and smaller.
Yep.
Like so.
Oh,
And then
wow.
on this side, they will be thicker. So it would be more like something like this.
That makes a big difference.
Okay, yes.
Looks nice, Jeanette.
Oh, thank you. All right.
I mean, I think it's great that you're trying to go beyond what you usually do. This one could be also a little bit bigger. So, so this would really be inviting for the viewer
Okay.
to, come into this road.
All right.
The silo, the size that you made the silo looks really nice and it's a good addition to the
Okay.
other buildings. Now I
Mhm.
see you didn't put the windows, but when you paint it, you could put the windows in.
Okay,
And this is what I'm going to show you
okay,
right here. So one way to put the windows is like when I did this one, I saved the little squares and I paint, so they stayed white.
all right.
And then I added the little black. But here, I painted the barn without taking caution to save any of the windows. And then I lifted the area for the windows.
Okay,
And this here, I mean, I think it's a good method without having to think about, oh, where is the window where, while you're painting this section. So you have two options. You can also, if you have masking fluid, you can also use masking fluid.
okay. I do have it here.
All right, now we are going to look at Leslie's.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this, Leslie?
Nope. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, so this is Leslie's drawing. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, very nice.
Yes, it does look very nice. I see you adjusted some of the window
Yeah, I
height
gotta
here.
paint over that, yep.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, this is just your drawing. It's really well done. And see here, this that you like so much on Janet's.
Yeah.
What you have to do is you have to indicate a darker shadow on the right-hand side
Mhm.
and a little bit of a darker. You slightly indicated it's darker on this side, but
Yeah.
making it even more dark will help.
Okay. Okay.
And so maybe I'll open in my other program. Do you want me to save this and send it back to you, Janet?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Oops. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is Leslie's drawing, and I know I cropped a little bit of either side at the bottom, but it was on a weird angle.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to use the cropping when I edit. I can never find it. So I must
Okay,
need to crop it on this,
I will show you
on
after
my
the
phone. Okay.
Yeah, on your phone. Okay. So what I was saying here is here on this, on this little part,
Yep.
what you could do is you could see if you just add a little bit of oh, it's not thick enough.
A line.
Like a little bit of a darker area here.
Yep.
Oops.
Yep.
It's not straight.
Yep.
See, it already gives it a little bit more tone. And then on the actual, oops, on the actual thing, this,
Thing.
yeah, this here, whoops, it's not
Yeah.
dark enough. Let me make it a
That
little,
is the weirdest thing.
well, you could make it a little darker here, see?
Yeah.
And this will give it roundness,
Yep.
see? And then under, you should also, under here, you should also give it a little bit of a darkness. So like under,
Yep.
so this will all read good. And the same thing is true over here, Leslie. So here,
Yep.
there should be, little bit of a shadow here, because this inclined building is a little bit, it comes forward compared to the barn building.
Yep. I agree.
So you could also add the little road if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
Well, I sort of did just now take that and, kind of draw it so I can put it on the watercolor. And I kind of extended it out a little, like it's a road.
Okay.
I mean, wider at the bottom, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have this line here, this
Yeah.
line here.
Yep.
And so you could have the same line on the other side, kind of like this. Just
Yeah.
make it a road. And then you
Oh,
have a
yeah.
little road here.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah.
I'll do that right now.
Well, one thing I want you to give me some attention here, because I want to talk a little bit about these trees. I think the fact that, see, the line of trees almost, you have the roof here,
Yeah.
and this almost follows the same line as the roof. So it's not as interesting as it could be if you had this.
Added some more. Yeah.
See, just like this, now we're breaking the symmetry,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. I agree.
So you could do this. That's the only other thing I would say.
What about the other side, those trees? Do those look
Yeah, that
funky?
looks good. You could make them a little lower if you wanted to,
Yeah.
but it works. It works really well.
Okay.
So do you want me to send you this?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
this is where I'm at.
Okay.
This is what I've done so far.
Okay, that's somewhat like what I've done, you know,
Really nice.
about that.
So,
Looks great.
I want to explain to you what I did to do this. I'm gonna turn off this music. So what I did is I turned it upside down.
Yep,
I wet
Okay.
all of this,
yep. Oh, I didn't
all
do
of
that.
this. Then I painted the whole second. Are you guys watching?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, I am.
I painted the whole section here with the sky color, all of this,
Okay.
including the mountain, including the trees.
Really?
Then after that, while it was still wet, I painted the mountain color, this one, from the bottom here, or from this line all the way to where I wanted it to end. So all
Okay.
of this, including the section for the dark trees. Then while it was still wet, I painted the
wow.
dark trees.
Okay.
And so therefore, when you look at it close by, see the dark trees there, in some areas they have a sharp edge, in some areas they're kind of diffused.
Okay.
Then if you look at the other side, same thing. On this side, they're a little bit more of a sharp edge. It was drier. And then these mountains, they're kind of like little hazy at the top. The line is not super straight. It's kind of smooth against the sky. And that's okay because these mountains are so far away back. So this is what I did first. Before I paint my roof, because when I paint my roof, I will paint it, and I will compare my gray to the tone of my sky, because it touches the sky here, see?
So you started with one color all over everything and then you added more color in to create the
On
mountain?
top, correct?
So you colored it a light blue with purple or?
So I did this color, which
Yeah.
it's blue with a very tiny little minute amount of yellow. Or you can just use the blue, but it's a very watery blue. So I covered this whole section, you know,
Well,
with that sky color. Then while it was still wet, I created this kind of purpley color. And I painted this whole section
purple.
with the purple and this whole area here.
Okay.
Then while it was still wet, I created the dark green. This is dark green. And I put it here. Now it was starting to dry by then. So in some areas, it was still wet and created a very soft edge. And in some other areas, it created a sharper edge. Same thing here.
So if you have a dry area in watercolor, you can't go back over it, correct?
If you have a dry area, you can go back over, but in order to have better control over what you do, and in order for it not to wash out what you have under, you have to use a thicker paint. Last week, I showed you how you could use some pigment right out of the tube and paint with it. So to paint my trees, like especially over here, I used some blue out of the tube that I mixed with a little yellow that was maybe the consistency of shampoo. So it gave me a very thick mixture that has a lot more pigment and less water than what I had under. So when I put it on, it didn't move, it didn't budge.
Well, I have a very light sky and I want to get it more.
Oh, wow, beautiful. Okay, hold on. Let me spotlight you.
But it's not interesting.
It's very nice, very nicely done.
Because mine is just about the same
Blue?
blue. Yeah, I'll show you.
It
Except
looks like a gray.
Yeah, it does a little bit now that I look at it.
mine's a little darker in places, but it's light all.
Oh, very nice.
Very
Yeah,
light.
it's
Oh, I
sort of-
like, show us the whole thing, Janet.
That's how much I
Oh,
did.
very nice. I love the purple.
Very well done. Very well done. The mountains are good in the back. The dark trees are good.
I, I did plop some yellow on top the trees a little bit to, you know, just give a different.
So before I paint the sky, the roof, I want to show you here. The next step that I have to do is clean up the edge. See how
Okay.
here
Yeah,
it went over, and here it falls down a little bit. It's got to be very straight. So I have to clean up this edge by lifting a little bit of the paint.
Okay.
That's the next step that I have to do before I paint my gray. So do you know how to do that, to lift? Like, see, my edge here is not completely straight, so I have to lift some of the color to make it straight.
you gonna dry brush it?
Well, this is how I lift it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it here and put the camera towards this. I can see my screen now, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There, that's better. So what I do in order to remove, you know, these little scraps,
Yeah.
so I take a thin brush, and then using this brush that's completely clean, I dry it on my paper towel, like so.
Yep.
So it's almost dry. It's still damp a little bit, but it's almost dry.
Yeah.
And then using this, what I do, you have to have a clean paper towel close by, one that is dry. So I'm preparing this one for this purpose. And so using this brush that is damp, I'm just gonna wet what I want to remove, like over here, for example,
Okay.
just a little bit.
Yeah, wow, it's magic.
And then it's very important, I use this and I remove the
Love
excess.
it.
So now,
Wow.
over here, I had a little spend something, and now it's gone. I'm gonna do it with this one. Now I'm gonna re-wet my brush. Very important that the brush not be too wet. So I dry it on my paper towel very much. Then I go here, here.
Gee,
Very
Magic.
gently, very
it's
gently.
magic.
Very important not to go over the line here. So I go like this. Now, once I've done this, I'm going to use my paper towel, my dry paper towel, dry it. Now it still appears a little bit. So I'm going to clean my brush and dry it again and do it again. Some colors lift easier than others. Some are staining and will never lift completely. But you can do something like this.
Perfect. I have,
It will not be perfect, as you can see. It's not perfect, but it did remove most of what is exceed. And then I have to do this one over here, because see,
it looks good though.
but this line has got to be straight. Having a roof that leans one way here will not read right. Will not read right. And I also have to do it here. See how the line is squiggly over here?
Yep.
So to do this, I'm going to put it like this, clean my brush, remove the excess, and go like this, very, very gently. This is a delicate operation that you have to be very good with when doing this. And it is very important that once you have done this, that you dry it with a dry paper towel or Kleenex or tissue. So now it looks a little bit better. It doesn't have to
Yeah, it does.
quickly.
Yes.
So I need to clean this up too. And then I have to do this. So now I'm gonna put it in a place where it's easier for me to do this, because I want to make sure that I make it right. while I am doing this, all right, so about the mask and fluid, a few things to know.
Okay.
Before you open up, shake your bottle very well, very important, okay? And whatever brush you put in this liquid
All right.
should not be your best brush. You
Okay.
want to use an old brush
Okay.
because it might ruin the brush.
Yes,
Now, in order to avoid that,
okay.
once you have used your brush into this liquid,
Yep.
immediately go and wash it.
Okay.
Or if you cannot do that, then leave it in the water until you're ready to wash it, because it will harden. Even in the water, it will harden on
Yes,
the brush.
I do remember when I had used it. Oh, here I have some other brushes here. I haven't.
Okay. All right. The other thing that I want to say is yours, is it white or is it blue?
It's white.
Or is it off-white?
Oh, it says colorless art masking fluid.
Okay.
So does that mean, and it says watercolor medium?
Yeah, that's okay. So some of them, when you buy them at the store, some of them will be an off-white color, some of them will be a powder blue color.
Oh,
But the important thing to remember is you're applying this to mask your paper. So you just apply it thick and leave it. It will
Okay.
dry very quickly.
okay.
Okay. And once it's dry completely, then you can paint on top and it won't matter. Now, once you are ready to remove it, use like something like this, like an eraser of a pencil or something rubbery to scratch it off.
Okay.
How do we make gray? Do you remember how we make gray?
What do we have? We mix blue.
So, very simple way to make gray is to just use blue.
Just use blue.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah. So if I start with a very clean brush, I'm just going to show you these things right now. So if I start with a very clean brush and I just use a little blue with a lot of water. And then I put it on this paper. Look at this. It almost looks like gray.
Yep.
See?
Yes, it does.
So that's a simple way to make gray. All right. So now, if I were to add just a teeny little bit of yellow. So I have some yellow right here on my palette. So I put the palette very close. See, I have some yellow, it's dried up here. So I just take a little bit of it and mix it with my blue.
Okay.
Look at this. So now I put it on my paper. Look at this beautiful gray that I get.
Yeah.
So that's another very simple way to make gray. All right. And now, if I were to add to this mix, I just made a little bit of red. Note how I don't dip my brush into the red. I just get a little bit of red from this dried up red here. So just add a little bit, put it in here. Now I created another version of the gray. If I put it on here, you'll see.
Look, mine's not too blue.
See?
That's okay. A
Yeah.
little.
Another gray.
Now, when I add the yellow to the blue,
Yeah.
I don't get gray. Wait,
What do you get?
I get a green.
Yeah, that's what I just got. And I think I put
Too much yellow.
Okay.
So you have to clean your brush, start again from scratch with the blue. So I'll show you how. Okay, so I'm going to start again. I clean my brush. I'm putting my blue here. right here like this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take too much yellow. Look at this. So I'm gonna take like this much yellow, or maybe I'll dip it here. So I have this much yellow on my brush, which is still not very much, but if I put it in my green, in my blue, look at this. I get instant green. So I picked up too much yellow.
oh my God, all right.
Yeah. So I have to clean my brush, start again in a different spot. Gonna clean this up. So start clean, make sure your brush is clean. And I'm gonna put my blue here. So I have my blue. And what I like to do to add just a teeny little bit of yellow, if you look here, I'm gonna do it again. So I have my blue here, and see here, I have some yellow that is dried up on the side there. So I'm gonna pick this up. That's just, you can hardly see that there is any yellow on my brush, but I'm gonna put this in here. And now I have a nice gray, and put it on the paper for you guys to see. This version of the gray is a little darker. It's more of a bluish gray.
Yeah,
I want to get a little bit more yellow, I can. And then I get this. Look at this. This is a pretty nice gray. And then if I water it down with a little water, get a lighter version of my gray. All right, there's another way to make gray.
I think I'm,
Am I going too fast?
no,
yeah,
no,
a
no,
little
I'm
bit.
catching it. I think
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
What
so
about-
now I'm washing my brush completely. And I'm gonna clean my surface here because I'm gonna start from the blue again. And so first step, I'm gonna put my blue on here. Now earlier we went to the yellow, we added the yellow and we got a gray. And then after that, we added the red. Now in this blue, I'm going to add a little red. Now to add a little red, because the red has so much pigment, even more pigment than the blue for some reason. I'm just going to take a little bit of the red from the side that I can see here on the side and on the side here. And I'm going to mix it with my blue, add some water, and then let's see what color we get. Oh, we get kind of it's like a purple color. So then what if I go on the other side and I add even more water? And look at this, now I have gray. So sometimes it's a matter of adding gray, adding more water to get a gray. Now in this purplish gray, you could add a little yellow, very little. Again, the best thing is to try to scratch off a little bit of yellow that's dried up on the side and add it to that beautiful color we just had. And now you really have a true gray. Look at this, nice true gray.
Nice true blue.
So these are all ways that you can get the gray. Now you can decide which gray you want for your barn roof. Do you want more of a kind of like a
Yeah, I want that one, but I can't get it.
kind of a pinkish kind of gray? This is more of a metallic color, which would be nice for the roof. I like this one here on the side, which is just blue and lots of water. I also like this last one that we made, although dark, but with light would be nice. So what gray would you guys like me to use?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th one in, maybe, or the one, no, the other way.
This one?
Yeah, I don't know how to make it. It won't come out.
So this one is made by starting with the blue and adding just a teeny little bit
Of
of
yellow.
yellow.
okay.
So let me try to do that. So I start with my blue. And because I want to only add a little bit of the yellow, I look for a little patch of yellow that is dried up, like right here on the side.
Yeah,
I just pick up a little bit of it and add it to my blue. If it's not enough, I can add a little bit more.
yeah, I think my water's too dirty.
No, it's not the water.
It's
You need to
teal.
make sure that your brush is clean before you start. So now with this, did I create the color that we were looking for? I don't think so. I think there's not enough yellow yet. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more. And a little bit more water. And I think I got the color, yes. So I've just created this color right here.
Yeah,
This is a little darker than this, but when it dries, it's gonna give us this color.
okay.
Did you succeed?
No, not yet. I'm trying to start with blue again.
I'm
So in preparation for painting the roof, I want to say one thing is that when you paint your roof, once it's dry, it'll be important that the tone that you have on your roof is just a little lighter than your sky. So there is a difference between the roof and the sky because, you know, the intersection of the roof with the sky is pretty big. So you
Yeah.
want to have like a little bit of a difference. Now, when you paint it, when you paint it, you have the same tone as your sky, that's good because then the roof will dry a little lighter than what you painted. If when you paint it, it's a little darker than the sky, when it gets dry, it will probably be about the same tone. So you can keep that in mind as you're preparing the color to paint this roof. All right.
right.
So we're trying to get a roof like this one that I painted a minute ago.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna do the demonstration on this little scrap of paper. See, this is my barn right here. I'm gonna use this to do my demonstration one more time. So I'm gonna put this away, put this on the easel. And the first step is to make sure that my gray is prepared. So to make my gray, I'm gonna use blue, all of my blue, and a teeny little bit of yellow. And to use the yellow, I take the yellow from here, just a little bit at a time. And then a little bit more if it's not enough. I think it's giving me the right color that I want. So it's giving me a nice color like this. It might be a little too blue. I'm just gonna take a little bit, teeny little bit more, my yellow. Oh yeah, that's good. I think we've got it right here. Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. All right. So now my gray is ready on this brush. I'm gonna take my other brush, make sure it's clean. Take some water. I'm watering the middle part
Oh, I did the whole thing.
of this. And using my brush, I'm going to go like this at the top where I want the darkest to be. And I'm just gonna go like this. And because it is wet, it's gonna run down. Once the top part is done, oops, see, I went over again. I'm just gonna do it again then. The whole thing. I don't want. Now I'm cleaning my brush, or I'm rinsing it to remove some of the color. Now I'm gonna go like this. Now this is adding some water. And then I'm cleaning my brush and I'm gonna make the two touch. And if I put it like this, then we get a nice barn roof. Except maybe here there's a little drip. So I'm gonna take my small brush and just pick it up like this. And I'm gonna leave this. So it's gonna dry like this. It will give the effect of this barn will be slightly different from the other one. But see, the other one is dried now. gave us this. Pretty good.
Looks great. Oh,
I did.